Wilkinson invented winning. And here at Oklahoma, we uphold the standard. This is the Champion Standard Podcast, where analytics meet film and the tailgate fuels the passion. Touchdown! From deep dives in the film room to advanced stats that tell the real story. Ready? We bring Sooner football into focus like never before. The roar of the palace on the prairie, the legacy of champions, and the pursuit of the next one. It's all right here, so lock in, because this is Oklahoma football. This is the Champion Standard. Let's go! Let's go! Go!
Hey, Sooner fans, welcome back in. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been on. The season is over, but the portal season madness has begun. Rob and I are up next to talk about all of it.
That's my standard. That's my standard. My champion standard. Champion standard. Pull away the answers. Yeah, the answers. The champion standard. Champion standard. Yeah.
Portal season is here, man.
The next 2 weeks is going to determine so much about our season next year. I mean, everything.
Yeah,
the roster is coming together quick in 2 weeks.
It will. In the meantime,
right?
This is the time of the year where your anxiety hits like all-time high.
Yeah,
because everybody says they're entering the portal,
right?
And you're like, holy shit. A quarter of our roster just left overnight. That's what it feels like.
It does.
Some of them, there were some crowded rooms. There's a lot of depth pieces that leave, but there's always a handful. You're just kind of like crap. What are we going to do? Why is he leaving?
Right. Or that. The why is he leaving? Like, what? That doesn't make sense.
Right. The dude's playing a lot for a good team. Where the heck is he going? So,
yeah.
So we have all of OU's portal entries, and then we'll kind of look at the depth chart with those guys leaving. And then Rob's got a list of active portal guys. Some of them's already kind of said where they're going to go, I guess, and signed with their teams. I guess that's what it's called. I don't know what it's called.
Signed. I call it they're free agents. It's free agency period. So, they signed with their teams. So,
football is over, but the craziness for the next 2 weeks will definitely keep us busy. So if we want, we can dive right in and look at some of the guys that have left here. I'll just pull up a kind of quick summary.
Yeah.
So these are the guys as of, I think the last one to enter might have been like last Thursday or Friday or something like that. So there's been 21 guys that have entered. I did a quick summary, 21 total, 14 offensive, 7 defensive guys. So twice as many offensive guys hitting the portal as defensive guys. I don't know if that's completely surprising, but just the fact that it's double, it's quite a bit. 6 from the offensive line. That's probably the one that I think everybody's kind of shaking their head out a little bit. Is we expected a few, but Sexton, Everett, Howland, Taylor, and Peklenko all played some this year.
Right. Well,
we're in the 2 deep at one point. Yes.
I mean, I'm not surprised by a few of them. I mean, Autry did a little bit because he's a depth, but he probably just, it's so hard to, keep your depth pieces bought in.
It is.
And, with the amount of rotation we had there, did he get snaps this year? He was on the field a few times.
But
I think he
not
did.
much. Yeah.
But Logan Hallen is the one that
exactly
sticks out there because tackles don't grow on trees, and he's athletic guy. He's had to nurse some injuries and stuff, but I'm kind of surprised that he jumped. I really did. That right tackle spot is wide open.
It is.
Simmons is gone. Right tackle is open, and that easily could he'd be competing for a spot at Oklahoma, starting right tackle. He'd be the favorite. He would be the favorite through the
a swing guy,
or a swing
guy.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure. But that one stings, man.
Yeah,
that one is a little, and I'm not sure what the story is there, man. But that's tough.
I don't either. I don't know if we want to highlight these guys,
the ones that are like what
that we think we're like, and I'm going to do this now. And you tell me, if I miss someone. These guys can have an impact. Here, let's just do this. Did I miss someone that you're kind of like? I guess we could highlight Jordan too. He got a lot of PT, right?
Yeah, he did. He played.
So those are the ones where I'm kind of. Oh, sorry, missed Marcus there. My bad.
Yep, Marcus, rotational piece. I mean, like keeping your depth. It's hard. That I think he's got one more year to play. Probably wants to go start somewhere. So that's the kind of guy that you probably see at like Oklahoma State, North Texas, something like that, where he's just going to go and plug and play and get a lot of playing time. It's kind of hard to crack that rotation when Jaden and David Stone are your big bosses there in the middle.
It is. But he knows better than anybody that we rotate for pretty consistently.
Yeah. And you got Kobe sitting there, man. So out of the, I got a question for you. Between Kobe McKenzie and Logan Hallen, which one would you want to bring back? Like, which one would you be working overtime to get back? Not knowing Heineke's waiver situation, which I don't know if there's been any news on that.
Well, can you answer this for me before I answer that? Is Kip coming back?
I think Kip's going to the league. But I mean, he acted as if all year he was like having too much fun on there out there on the field. I don't know. He looked like he was.
That sways my answer. If Kip leaves, I say Kobe. If Kip stays, I'm switching to Logan because I just think, like you said, tackles are a premium. We don't know what we're going to get out of the portal, but we know we're down to maybe 8 guys on our O-line that have snaps, and that may be generous. Because I may have accidentally counted like a couple of freshmen that are coming in that we know can't see the field right away a lot of times. So your O-line is uber thin right now until we get some guys out of the portal. So I'm going to say Kobe. I hope you're wrong on Kip. I hope Kip stays. Another guy that
he's maxed out, man. He is not going to have like you're.
Don't tell Kip.
No,
that.
I know. I love Kip, but
Kip's watching right now, Rob.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's like, what would Brad and Rob think? That's going to sway my opinion. But I think I thought, watching him, man, on the sidelines and before and after plays, like he was having so much fun. It looked like a guy that was just, enjoying his last year at OU. That's just my tinfoil hat. But if he comes back, fantastic, because we need him. I mean, you want to retain is the theme of every single offseason, is retaining talent. We wonder why Indiana is having so much success. Well, they're 11-2 team that kept everybody. They sent 2 guys to the draft last year.
Right.
They sent a 5th round pick and a 7th round pick. They retained everybody and then went to the portal and just handpicked guys that they felt like can just make their team even better. And now they're the most experienced football team in the country, going on a tear right now. You see them playing smart football, veteran football. Those dudes had collectively the most starts than any other team in the country. So, I mean, it makes sense, the success they're having. And then you look at all the other teams that are in this position right now, they're sitting in off season. they're trying to do the exact same thing where we need to retain our players. We got to keep them from going to the league. We want them to come back for their senior year, and you've got to keep all your best players from poachers. So,
yeah.
Now, I will say OU doesn't get a whole lot of players poached. I mean, it happens, the Caden Green or whatever. There's been like one player or so that get poached. Most of the time, we've done really good at keeping our players locked in. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think our retention, retention plan, retention, whatever, is pretty good. I think, the culture in the locker room, just what they've created there helps in situations like that, especially when you got a marginal thing where someone poaches a player, wants to give him, let's just throw some crazy numbers out there, wants to give him $750,000 and he's already making $500,000, $600,000. Well, I think that's where the culture and stuff kicks in, just to keep guys around like that. But another group,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, to kind of bounce off that, is like, if you're in a room with a great coach like a Brandon Hall and a Todd Bates,
exactly.
like you're an extra $100,000 is like, I don't care, because I'm gonna go make me a 4-year contract making $3 million a year here in like a year or two. Like that 100,000 is not really, that's a drop in a bucket in the long game. So, but your coaches have to develop players and prove that they can get them into the league. And when that comes into fruition here pretty quickly with Todd Bates and Brandon Hall, they're going to be rolling. They're going to be reloading the room over and over again. So it's those rooms where development hasn't really taken place, where you have seen a lot of guys leave, like running back and receiver and tight end and stuff like that. So anyway,
that whole offensive side that we just keep talking about. Another room that got hit pretty hard, maybe doesn't look like it on the surface, was that defensive back room. Losing Jordan, Gentry, and Dolby is a big deal. And I know Dolby didn't get a lot of run this year, but those were guys that were all playing in that 4-man rotation at corner.
Yeah.
And, Cheetah at one point. So that was kind of tough. And then the one that caught us all off guard, I think last week, was Marcus Strong, which we've already mentioned a little bit, but
yeah,
that stings, man. That stings a lot with that.
And to compare, it's like Indiana kept those guys. Like Indiana kept their Marcus Strongs and their Dolbys and stuff. The guys that didn't get a whole lot of run that year, they kept them. They kept them locked in. And they are now have one of the most depth-filled teams right now because they were able to keep everybody. Go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. Yeah, that's right. So that one was kind of one that came out of nowhere. I felt like really didn't see that one coming. But yeah, this is all the guys that are leaving. Hopefully, there's not, maybe I could see a couple more here in the next couple of days, but usually the guys that said they're going to leave have already said that, so they can have their name in the portal as quickly as possible. Right. But if we want to transition over to what that looks like just from a full depth chart standpoint here.
And I do have a question for you. You go ahead and move to the depth chart. What are the 2 or 3 players that the players that you're eyeing to see if they do jump late into the portal? Do you think there's any left, really?
I do like, and since we have the depth chart pulled up, that's probably a easy way to identify these guys. I could see a Raggins or a Carry On going, another receiver, and O-line. I think we're done. Thank goodness. Let's hope.
Hopefully.
Another, since you asked, I had wide receiver on the brain, and then there was another one. Probably, maybe potentially a Jacoby or a Jaden Hardy. Unfortunately, I could see.
Oh, maybe. Gosh, no way. That would hurt. Jaden Hardy.
That's like
would hurt.
No, and hopefully that was just some names. I think Charlie threw out a couple of names, so I may be picking back on what he said of guys just to kind of keep an eye on. But those are, I would say, more of the receivers potentially than I would one of these secondary guys. With the guys that just left in the portal, I would think Jacoby and Jaden would want to stick around now more.
Yeah.
Potentially. So maybe they've changed their mind. But yeah, here's the updated depth chart. The blue guys are out of eligibility or graduating. The purple guys are the ones that have hit the portal. So those are the ones that are all leaving. Either. Yeah. So, what that looks like when they leave, it makes a pretty bare looking depth chart. Especially
9 guys in your 2 deep
positions.
on offense. 9 guys on the 2 deep on offense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys on your 2 deep on defense. Ooh.
Yeah. Which I have the 26 recruiting class over here to the far right. So of course some of those guys will move in. We got 2 guards that came in the recruiting class, so they'll move in, into the depth chart somewhere. Jaden Pettit may be the one receiver that's like college ready.
Okay.
We've had plenty of freshmen come in the last few years. How often do they see the field?
Right.
I'm having a hard time thinking of one.
Well, Zion Kearney, who is, you're looking at your wide receiver depth chart, your crown jewel of wide receivers from Texas, and he can't quite get on the field. I mean, he had 2 catches last year, and the Elijah Thomas was Mr. Hype Train all through the spring and everything. Everybody was just hyping him up. He's a 3A Oklahoma ball guy. I mean, he's going to take some time to get his body, mental, everything ready for SEC play. So it makes sense that it's kind of I'm not too happy with the wide receiver recruiting, man. I look at that, I'm like, golly, why did we not get any run in for our young guys? I mean, I compare it kind of to Brandon Hall. You look at Brandon Hall's room, and he had 2 studs there, and Robert Spears Jennings and Peyton Bowen, and he still worked in Jaden Hardy and Michael Boganowski over the last 2 years. He has built his heir apparents with just 2 positions. So there, if you look at the total number of snaps in this defense, it is nowhere near close to the number of snaps that you can give with wide receivers, where you go empty 10 personnel and have 4 receivers out there. It's just why didn't they not get much run in when there's probably 2.5 times more snaps available for young receivers to get on the field and get some experience and get that heir apparent when you knew Keontae Lewis was leaving, Deion Burks was leaving. You knew Kanik was really a receiver. So you knew 3 of your top 4 pass catchers were gone, and they couldn't work them onto the field, young guys onto the field. That's strange, man. That's really strange.
Yeah. Hey, before we go any further, I wanted to pop it up here. We got our first commitment from a tight end out of Florida, Hayden Hansen.
Woohoo.
That's a good get. We both put 2 different comments in there at the same time. That's funny.
Okay.
So that's big. The tight end room has been non-existent from a pure tight end perspective. Kanik was hybrid, let's face it. Huge get. Hopefully that can start a wave of guys starting to come in this week. So
don't you find that kind of impressive when you don't have a tight ends coach? So that tells you that they threw some money. That tells you they threw some money at that kid. They were like, the kid did not care who he was going to be coached by. He is coming in to start, play, get off of Florida's dumpster fire, get paid some money, and go basically eat up all the snaps. So good for him. Good for us. But yeah, they're definitely throwing some money at tight end room if you're snagging one of the best tight ends in the transfer portal without a tight ends coach. So
here, Rob, let's do this.
No, you're gonna put him in. Hell yeah, there we go.
Why not? Why not, dude?
Yeah.
You just got yourself a starting job, just like that.
Just like that. No, I mean it's true though. You're Hayden Hansen, tight end 1. Done.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right. So that's one less hole to fill.
That's right.
Done.
That's right. That's the beauty of getting commitments on while you're doing a live podcast.
Right? I know, right?
So, gosh, I forgot what we were talking about. I got distracted by that commitment. Oh, yeah, you were talking about some of the wide receivers and stuff like that. Yeah. I think knowing the guys that have left, and by looking at this and seeing the holes in the roster, I feel like we need 10 to 12 instant impact guys is what I'm going to call them, because of what we just lost. I feel like that equivalates to like 4 linemen, 4 offensive linemen, 2 receivers, a D tackle, a D end, a linebacker, a cheetah, and a couple of secondary guys. I don't know if that comes up to 10 or 12, but I just feel like we lost 20. We went through the list. There was about 7, 8 guys that we were concerned about. So I think you got to upgrade the roster. So if you can bring in 10 or 12 legit guys that do that and make your roster better, I think that's the idea. And honestly, we've done a pretty good job of that. I felt like the last couple of years, but could do better.
Yeah.
Last year we got, if you want to count Sandell, we got Mateer, we got Ott, and I realize he didn't pan out, and we got Kendall Daniels and Sandell, and all 4 of those guys could have made a big difference at their position. We can say 3 of them did. So,
yeah. And so with Hayden Hansen, they're getting a tight end. They look veteran guy, 30 receptions, 254 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I will say though, Arbuckle likes his tight ends, man. He really does. And so I would think this guy statistically is going to probably have one of his best career years, especially in an offense like this where it likes to spread the ball, or at least the philosophy says to spread the ball around, and big target, quarterback friend, but in like scheme wise,
what were his measurables again?
Oh God, dude, he's like 6'5", 6.
Okay.
Hang on. Sorry, I just had his numbers up.
Yeah, I thought you had it there in front of you. While you're pulling that up, another guy they like at that tight end spot's Trinae Washington.
6'8". Holy
6'8". Seriously?
6'8", 270 pounds. Oh, he's a Texas kid. Hell yeah, there we go. We like Texas.
Yeah,
we like Texas kids. So, yeah, I mean, number statistic wise hasn't really done much, but I mean that's a big boy, and he's a veteran player. That's where kind of go into the portal. I much more lean on veteran players with low floors and try to fill as many holes with veteran players as much as possible. I don't want it. And D1, I don't like taking FCS flyers.
Right.
Not when you're trying to win a championship. I mean, if you got to find like your wide receiver room.
Giovanni Gibson is a good example.
Yeah.
Of what you don't necessarily want, right? A guy from a smaller, you kind of want the guys that have from the Big Ten, SEC, preferably.
Right. But they hit on Sategna, D1 out of Arkansas. Their veteran player. He played college football for 2 or 3. He's going into his 4th year. We do know he's staying, right? But like, go low floor, go veteran, and get veteran guys to come in, and they know they're smart. Experience matters. Indiana's proving it right now. So that's where I think you need to start sending your dollars to is your veteran high floor players. And Aiden definitely is a high floor because you know exactly what you're getting out of him. if you get another 30, 40 catches and 400 yards and 4 touchdowns and he plays the entire season, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. When your tight end room is a black hole right now.
Right.
That is an awesome, awesome deal.
Yep. Good. That was a priority need right there. And so they filled that and probably got another 1, maybe 2 guys coming, tight end wise. I would say they need another one. 3 is probably potentially too many because that was a pretty crowded room for guys that weren't playing. So
don't we also have Rocky Beers out there that we're entertaining?
He's going to be on campus. Yeah, it's Reagan Beers.
Yep.
Plays basketball for OU. It's her brother. So that's a pull maybe. I think he's Colorado State, if I'm not mistaken.
He is Colorado State. Yep. I've got Colorado State film because never mind. But like 6'5", 245 pounds. I was looking at for a different reason. But I was like, all right, man, I can watch him. 31 receptions, 380 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Average 12.5 yards a catch. You have him and Hayden Hansen. Oh, and you bring in an actual tight ends coach. Suddenly, that black hole is looking pretty good. Turn it into a star.
Yep. So we talked about we got the blue and purple, especially on the 2 deep, on holes that we think we need to fill in the portal. One thing I skipped over. What's your opinion on this, Rob? Go get a backup quarterback out of the portal since we lost Hawkins?
I think.
Or do you like Neubauer, Jet New, and Bo Bentley coming in and say, I'm good?
Bentley should be your 2. I don't know why you need to go. Bentley should be your 2.
Yeah. He's a freshman. Do you need an experienced dude to come in and be your backup?
Okay, so if Mateer goes down, your season's over. So it doesn't matter if you've got a veteran guy there.
Ouch, man, that was
no, it's true. You don't see NFL teams don't sell out and start buying veteran players and stuff. You get your dude, your number 1, you ride him. I would rather have Bo Bentley get every damn snap that Mateer does not for the future versus some guy that's going to be a hired mercenary for a year or a guy that played a lot of football for 4 or 5 years. I'd rather just ride with Bo.
Yeah, and there's nothing to say that Witt and Jet can evolve into that role potentially.
Yeah,
being on campus, a couple of years under Arbuckle, one of them may step up. So I'm with you. I think 4 quarterbacks on campus is enough. You brought those guys in for a reason last year. So I mentioned back to the tight end room. I mentioned Trene Washington. I know they like a lot that they've seen from him so far. He's a local product that could get some reps in that tight end room too. So I think if you go get another, to your point about is Hayden Hansen, is he a senior or an underclassman?
Yeah.
Do you still have that pulled up, or if you don't?
He is a junior, so he listed as a junior on ESPN, so he'd be a senior next year. So he's
okay.
And so would Rocky Beers. Rocky Beers is a senior. So
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
I'm all about what you said about getting the experienced senior P4 guy, but at the same time, if you can find an underclassman to give you a couple years, and where I'm going with that is maybe in the defensive tackle room, you lose Jaden Jackson and David Stone next year. So if you go get another senior at defensive tackle, that room all of a sudden becomes very bare of talent after those 2 guys leave next year. So I would be inclined to look for, a sophomore or a guy that's going to be a junior in that room to give you 2 years, hopefully. Otherwise, there's some big concerns. And Jake Cruel's a defensive end, not a tackle, right? So I heard he had a game yesterday.
Oh, did he?
Yes. A couple people said we're going to get to know his name really quickly when he gets on campus. But I'm excited about him. I don't know if he can come in and fill the void of RMT, of course, but he may be a guy that can see the field early on that defensive end side. So that would be nice.
Right. Yeah.
So, what's your two biggest concerns right now when you look at this depth chart?
Alpha pass rusher, alpha receiver.
Besides the O-line depth, or ahead of the O-line depth?
So with O-line depth, I mean your starting five is going to get a lot of run. Looking at the receiving room, can Isaiah Sectainer replicate what he did as a number one receiver, being that 5 to 6 of his plays last year accounted for like 40% of his production? All those 87-yard runs, the 60-yard runs. Can he do that again for you? And then outside of that, with losing 3 of your top 4 pass catchers, I look at that room and I don't really see an alpha there that's going to really dictate much to the defense. So that's a little scary because we didn't get run Elijah Thomas, and for the next 8 months, we're going to be talking about hyping up the receiving room. And is it Manny Choice? Is Elijah Thomas? It's kind of unknown, which is very different than other rooms on this team. And then I look on the defense. Yes, RMT was out for some games, and our defense played very well and won games without him. But I don't know if that is sustainable if you don't have an alpha pass rusher of some sort to get you through an entire season. And I would expect that they're looking at bringing somebody on both those rooms that's going to be the big splash. There's got to be a good splash where the portal and the defense and offside of the ball, and it's going to be a receiver and pass rusher.
Right. So last year they brought in Marvin Jones Jr. If they did that again this year, would that be enough for you?
No.
It's got to be a little better than that.
Yeah, I mean, I like Taylor Wine, but you're banking on what your development is there in that spot, and Chavez, has he really been a developer yet? I mean, we'll see. I think if you don't bring in guys, if you bring in another Marvin Jones Jr., you are banking on him to take Wine and Okoye to the next level, like they would have to. Otherwise, it's just you're not going to have much of a pass rush there. So
yeah, I'm excited to see what CJ Nixon brings. His highlight tape looked really good. That Weatherford product, we looked at that with JY, I think, this past year, and JY was trying to get him moved over to tight end, trying to get the coaches' attention to move him over to tight end. But extremely athletic. I think that's a guy to keep an eye on this year for sure. In that room, just that's already on campus. So I'm with you. One more. So you mentioned alpha DN, alpha wide receiver, and we talked about offensive line depth pieces. One more I'm going to throw in there is a good hybrid Cheetah. I don't know if we would be fortunate enough to find another Kendall Daniels, because that was just a steal, in my opinion. And he panned out wonderful, but I think you got to find another Cheetah, because the only other experienced one you have right now on campus is Reggie Powers.
I forgot about Cheetah.
Yeah.
I should have said Cheetah.
That's okay.
Hard, man. Yeah. Cheetah's, Kendall Daniels, he did everything, man. Like, he did everything. He was everywhere. Statistically, you look at his stats and he's like, he's a solid player. But Brett asked him to go everywhere. Like, I've never seen a guy with his length and everything, size, play big half safety and cover 2. Like, that was wild. Or match up on the field side on a slot receiver. Like, it's pretty wild. Like, they asked him to do so much, and in one drive, he essentially would play like 4 different positions. That's pretty wild. Like, you don't see that. Like, you watch other defenses, they don't really. That Cheetah spot was different than any year Brent has been here, and so I'm not quite sure what they're going to do there. I would expect that. I think there's been some players that are being rumored there. It's going to be somebody that I would hope has played in 2 different rooms like Kendall, because Kendall came in high school, he was a safety and moved to backer, so he kind of understood the terminology, language, and position maintenance of all the different positions. I would hope that they kind of get a guy with that same history. I'm not sure if they would still replicate some of the same things that they did with him early, but hopefully, Brad, it's a 2-year guy, not a 1-year guy. We want a Cheetah that's going to be here for the next couple of years. That way, if he comes in, he can be a tackling machine for you, and the first year, and then the second year after he understands all the different things that Brent wants to do with him, he can unload in the second year and be that versatile Swiss Army knife that Brent really wants. So I'm hoping Cheetah's a 2-year guy. I'm not too worried about it because Brent has taken guys like he's had how many different Cheetahs have we had? We've had 4 different Cheetahs under
at least 4.
So like we've had 4 different, so it'd be the 5th Cheetah. So like we're gonna field a solid defense there with a different Cheetah. I just if I'm looking at if Kip Lewis stays, Peyton Bowen stays, they're locked in, no NFL, alpha pass rusher. You look at what Texas Tech did with David Bailey and I think it was the guy's Height from that were 2 dudes that they just bought, and they were these twitchy athletes that just moved all over the place, and Oregon's got them too. And you look at some of these playoff football teams, and they've got these like uber twitchy athletes on both sides of the football, and you don't know which one's coming. And that's what kind of what Brent likes to do with his defense, with all his replacement pressures and with the versatility with Kendall, be able to move guys around, And so you get him a twitchy athlete, get him a twitchy athlete at Cheetah and defensive end, and let him do the same thing. I really would like, again, 2-year player at Cheetah, 2-year player at DN. If I was, we don't know what the budget is, but that's what I would like.
Yeah. Hopefully that room's got a big budget for this portal session. Miami Hurricanes, man, you talking about some DNs, Bain and what's the other guy's name?
Ruben Bain. Yes. Oh my God, dude.
I forget the other one opposite him, but man, you talking about a potent tandem down there, man. Those guys single-handedly have wrecked A&M. Who'd they beat this past week?
It was
drawing a blank.
Oh my God. So much football, man.
Yeah, that team. So
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Yeah.
How could we forget Ohio State?
Oh man, that game was God. Ohio State's offense was just so blah. Golly. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Ruben Bain, and then you have Tour, and then you've got Messidor Hakeem, who's really good.
Messidor.
Yeah, Hakeem. Yeah, that dude. They're twitchy, man, and just 6'3", 208. Yeah, I know who you were talking about. But Ruben Bain, like almost like you've got these tackles.
He's nasty, man.
You got these tackles like Ohio State, Alabama, and that are these big, heavy-footed, cinder block feet offensive tackles that really want to, Caden Proctor, he does not have the greatest feet, but long arms, massive strength. They get your hands on you. You can't move, but you can beat it with speed, hand fighting, and speed. And Ruben Bain did that all freaking day with Ohio State's tackles. I mean, he was just blowing past them. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't get their hands on him. So,
yeah.
And I don't know if that exists in the transfer big board, but we can take a look at that.
Right. No, I think I think we've identified the team's needs with the guys graduating and who's hit the portal. So should we take a look at your list of guys that are out there in the portal?
Yeah, sure.
Might be a good time to transition to that. All right.
Let me move over here.
So I do think here in a little bit before you go through go ahead and go through your rating thing here first before I.
Yeah, just said no. I mean, just got name, position, school, the destination where they're going. we've got the 247 rating, and we've got the 25 PFF rating. This is just like the generic offense and defensive PFF rating. PFF has got ratings for pass rush, rushing, pass protecting, run blocks, but this is just like the generic high level offense defensive rating for each player, and then just whether they're eligible, and then the stars. And I think the 247 rating is the transfer rating. So like Sam Levitt, highlighted by Chaz Coleman, Sam Levitt. I'm not even going to pronounce that. Drew Mestamaker.
Yep.
Yeah. Brandon Sorsby, Cam Coleman.
Yeah, I think it would be good at some point if we can highlight who we said were our biggest needs. And that way we can ignore the quarterbacks and possibly the running back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, and just look at, if we want to look just at certain rooms, I'm good with that too. And that way we can kind of see who's out there.
Yeah. So let's stay on the opposite side of the ball. In a wide receiver room, of course, you got Cam Coleman, DeAndre Moore, Omarion Miller. And my favorite was Nick Marsh.
Yep.
So I guess I got to add him to Indiana now.
He's a Hoosier. Yep.
Oh, I cannot believe that. Out of all the ones, out of all these that I liked,
right.
really liked, I watched, I knew Cam, I knew DeAndre, I watched Omarion, I watched Terrell Anderson, I watched Nick Marsh, I watched Eugene Wilson, and I watched and I liked Nick Marsh the best.
Yep.
Just the routes, adjusting to the ball tracking, big plays, just really good player. And I was like, man, I want to see if we can. But he's a Big Ten, he's a Michigan guy, so he's probably grew up Big Ten football. So I knew it was a long shot. And on TFB, they never mentioned him at all. So I was like, oh man, that's a bummer. So that it's like draft crushes. It's like when your team, you're following the draft and you have these draft crushes,
right?
And then they go somewhere, you're kind of like, oh man. But I guess go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say Cam Coleman and Omarion Miller from Colorado, both are going to come with some pretty hefty price tags. And Cam Coleman probably we probably weren't going to be in the run-in for him anyway, just because of that. Right. Miller's name popped up a little bit there on TFB. I know Charlie mentioned him early on. He's got visits set up to Arizona State and Texas Tech, I believe. So guess where he'll probably go if those are his two choices. So I'm not sure if, we'll be in the mix with him or not. I can tell you two guys on this list that Charlie has as visiting this week or weekend are Parker Livingstone, and then up a few, the Virginia wide receiver Trell Harris. So those two are visiting, which is great. Those are a couple of top 15 guys. You can, you could live with that if you could land one of those guys, of course, and maybe another. I don't know if they fit your alpha role, but I can tell you Trell Harris, I'm pretty sure, was Virginia's alpha. So if that makes you feel any better. And I would say Parker Livingstone was probably like 2 or 2A for Texas, which is crazy. They lost 5 or 6 of their skilled guys. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
So if you highlight Texas and then highlight running back and wide receiver, go filter on running back too, and then do Texas only. They lost at least 5. Yep. Baxter, Gibson, Trey Wisner.
Wow.
Look at that.
Wisner.
Look at that.
Wisner? Wow.
3 of their top 4 running backs.
Huh.
And 2 of their top producing wide receivers.
Why is DeAndre Moore leaving?
I don't know.
That's one I'm like, huh. I mean, both these cats are leaving, but
exactly. I thought that was crazy that they lost all 5 of those guys, considering, they have the great Arch Manning leading them. I don't know why they would all want to leave. But that just smells weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're probably wanting to get out of Dodge, man.
Maybe. So yeah, back to this wide receiver class. I haven't seen any other names on Charlie's kind of running list of guys who are visiting, but that does not mean OU's not talking to them or have gave them offers. That just means they haven't set up a visit yet. So hopefully we can score one of these playmakers. Who knows? That Chase Sal guy, Iowa State, he may follow Matt Campbell to Penn State like some of the other guys have been doing.
Yep.
So I'm not seeing any names there that necessarily jump off the page, but I don't necessarily follow that, the wide receivers.
Auburn's losing a lot of guys. Good
they
Lord.
are.
Look at that. Dang. Woo. Auburn.
Yeah.
I thought we were in trouble. They're in trouble. My goodness. They lost.
That's six guys.
That's an entire room, half a room easily.
That is half a room for sure.
Dang, man.
Who'd they hire?
Yeah, so
who was their hire? Was it the Tulane or was it the Tulane coach? Or the other guy? I think it was Summerall.
There's so many of them. The one that I'm excited to get into is Will Stein at Kentucky. Auburn hired Alex Golsh from USF.
Golish, that's right.
Golish.
That's right.
Yeah.
Golish. Yep.
And then Summerall went to Florida.
Florida? That's right.
Yeah, he's at Florida.
So we can move on.
I mean, looking at this, your Cam Coleman's gonna probably be $2.5 million, right? At a probably average 2.5, maybe creep up there if the bidding's right to get him to 3, which is insane, knowing that Mateer's probably 1.5 to maybe 2.
Right.
So we don't know the numbers, but it seems like we probably got a good deal with Mateer, which should allow you to go out there and get both. Like, what were the two names you mentioned? The Virginia guy and Livingstone. I mean,
correct.
Those two guys, and then Satana back. That's a pretty good core. Then you bring in your tight ends. Like, that's not bad, not bad at all, really.
Right.
So,
right. If we really upgrade that tight end room and we just call them pass catchers, if we can get some good wide receivers and get a couple of tight ends, and if you say pass catchers, then we can really upgrade those rooms significantly. Another guy that is probably way down your list there is the Adams kid from Alabama. He's an Oklahoma guy. He may be way down the list. I'm not sure.
Oh, Cole Adams.
Yes.
Yeah, he hardly played.
Right. So that's another name that's been thrown out because he's had some Oklahoma ties and we recruited him initially. So that's probably another name to keep an eye on. But he's not your alpha you're looking for. He's more of the possession, Stoops. What was the other guy after Stoops? That was the possession guy.
Possession guy after Stoops? What are you talking about? Are you talking about
the little
Jordan?
Shifty? Yes,
Jacob Jordan. Yeah,
Jacob Jordan.
He's still around. He's still
around. I thought there was another guy in between them, but I could be wrong there. Yeah. So there's a lot of. I still can't believe how many guys get into the portal. It shouldn't shock me by now, but it blows my mind.
There's so many. Like, it is wild how many names are in here, man. This is just receivers. Look at all these receivers, man.
That's crazy.
There's so many of them.
That's
okay.
Nuts.
What position you want to go look at next?
So let's go ahead and do tight end since we just got a commitment, and then I'll let you know who Charlie said. We already mentioned Rocky Beers was gonna. I don't even see him listed on that. There's Hayden. So he's say top 10, top 12 tight end. Another name is the Ashcraft kid from Wisconsin. He has a visit scheduled.
Okay. Ooh, he must be. Golly, look at all these tight ends, man. There's Rocky.
Yep.
Florida State, 85, grade 247 and 70 PFF grade. Not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, and there was a wholesale group of Iowa State guys that, of course, hit the portal, and I think some of them have already found some homes, but they may be on there too. Yeah, so many names, man. You just get lost. You just get lost in the numbers.
Hey, yeah.
There's
Ashcraft. Tucker Ashcraft. Ashcraft.
Careful.
Ashcraft.
So yeah, you got Hayden Hansen already. You get an Ashcraft and maybe another guy. You've definitely updated there. Yeah, it looks like the Brahmer guy followed Matt Campbell to Penn State.
Yep.
And then Burkle down the list is another Iowa State guy that, I don't know if he'll follow him as well, but again, don't see any names here that necessarily jump off the page.
I mean, let's see who's the highest rated PFF tight end. You got Max Wisner of Akron, Brock Schott from Miami. Huh.
Oh, I know another name. Down there, row 259, Alex Honig. I believe Charlie mentioned him earlier in his comments that he may be visiting as well, and Charlie said that he liked him as well. So that's another name to keep an eye on.
Okay. All right. Any other offensive positions?
O-line, we kind of get lost in. I will say one thing we need is a center because we're pretty thin at center. We have Magdala and Hollenbach.
Yep.
And Hollenbach hasn't took a snap as far as I know. So you need an experienced center to come in and add some depth. I don't know any of these guys. Caleb Nita is a center from Kentucky, Western Kentucky, that Charlie mentioned. These are all, they say, interior line. So he's probably just somewhere buried in the list as a true center. So I wouldn't even bother trying to find him.
We're just knowing that you've got a hole at right tackle where you either going to have Foj be he's going to be your right tackle and you start him there, which you could, or do you try and find yourself a right tackle or left tackle out of these guys? I mean, where does you've got Chaplin here at Auburn, who you're familiar with, Lance Hurd, you're familiar with,
right?
Darius Kern, you played all three of these guys. Where do those guys kind of rank, or these other tackles rank? As far as your needs go, when you're trying to rebuild that off, reload that O line. Are we going to allow Coach B just to take his high school guys and just roll with your depth in high school into next year, or are you looking? You said bring in a center. My concern is that right guard, right tackle spot.
Right.
Because Foj can only play in one spot.
Yeah, I'm looking. I mentioned the center, Caleb Nita from Western Kentucky, supposed to visit this week. So I would say you're looking for swing tackle and guard. That's your next guys as far as priorities go. So yeah, if you find, Bakliko, was he kind of a swing guy, or is he more of just positional?
Yeah, I mean, he played left and right.
That's kind of what you're looking for, right? Another him, basically. Okay. I don't know which one of these guys are swing guys or
right.
I would really like to get a tackle that's played in the SEC or the Big Ten, and not take a gamble on another Stanford transfer or some small school, guy like the one you just highlighted there. I don't know. I just want a guy that's proven to be able to play in the upper P4s.
Right.
Do you know anything about the LSU guy, the Carius Kern?
Yeah, I mean, he was okay. Like I went back and he's all right. Like there was some he's again kind of your classic like all three of these guys being these SEC linemen, they're your classic heavy-footed guys. I mean, like they're center blocks for feet, and that's why like Auburn, Chaplin, I mean, he was looking to try to go in the NFL, and he went and played us in week 4, and we ate his lunch. But, like, if you're looking for a starting right tackle and you can have Foj be your right guard, which he could be, I'm not sure where I guess it depends on where Foj projects for you.
Right.
Where Coach B thinks that he can be at the next level on Sunday. Is he a right guard or is he a guard or is he a tackle? That pretty much answers your question. I think he could do whatever he wants. I think he's a great talent. So, but you could bring in a guy like these guys and let Foj play right guard, have a solid season, solid offensive line there, and then let your hired gun like Lance Hurd or Carius Kern go, and then you could move Foj after he's built his body, matured his mind, and now he's your right tackle, or maybe so. And then you have your bookend tackles there, but I feel like this is kind of lower on my list. I honestly think I think he just put Foj at right tackle, go find a right guard, a run grading right guard, and a run grading center. And you have your interior offensive line that's EPL, who we already know is a nasty mofo. Like he is one.
Right.
He wants to knock people's heads off. I want to duplicate that at right guard. And at center, I want a wee woo center. Like wee woo at center was great. So I want that. And then you have your athletic guys on the outside.
Yeah. Can you do me a favor? And on the school, can you filter on Akron? Because there's a guy coming in. His name's Masai King. Yep. He's coming in, or he was supposed to visit this weekend. I'm not sure if he did or not. So that's a name.
Okay.
And he's a tackle. And then another name.
That's your swing tackle there.
Potentially. And then there's a guy from Nevada. His name is Zach Kotenauer, I believe is how you say that. So if you want to filter on Nevada too, you can kind of see what his 2.4. Yep.
So it looks like 2.4 probably not rated, and then his PFF rating is 78, which is a really good grade. Like for offensive tackles, like a lot of people don't really know that in PFF grades, like it really depends on the position that you're looking at because they don't give great grades, like the same number of good grades for every position group. Tackles and DNs and receivers and quarterbacks don't get the same number of great grades. So a tackle with a 78 grade, like Zach Kotenauer for tackle Nevada, 78's good. Like that's good. Like they're saying that he had a great season last year for Nevada. And you get kind of into the 60s in offensive tackle. That's where you're kind of starting they're solid, and then you get the 50s, and it's usually like they're average.
Gotcha.
So a 78 stands out. And what was Messiah King? Let me look at Messiah King. What was his grade?
Yeah, he was Akron. I think he was in the 70s as well. If you can filter on Akron, you can hit. Oh, no, he was high 60s. Yep.
So that's solid. That's solid. Like that's a really good PFF grade for offensive tackle. Yeah. So, I mean, we looked at receiver. We looked at
I think we should.
Tackle.
I think we should shift over to the defensive side.
Yeah, we gotta look at edge. I want to see what the edge is like. What's the? Give us the latest news on edge because I just see Chaz Coleman up there at the top, and I just want to throw him $3 million and be done.
Yeah. So, according to his list, there are no edge guys visiting. But that doesn't mean we're not doing the dirty work in the dark, as they always like to say on TFB, and talking to guys. Just because they're not listed as visitors doesn't mean we're not. I think the John Henry Daly guy, the Utah guy, I like. But I don't know if he's going to follow Kyle Winningham to Michigan. So I kind of worry about that.
And he's got a massive 92 grade on PFF.
He's gonna he's going to be demanding the money. So,
and then let's see, Miami, Ohio. You got Adam Trick that's in the 90s. See here, West, James Madison, Isaiah Terrell, Washington State has 85. Solomon Williams from Texas A&M's got an 80. Like, those are some good grades, man.
Yeah, I think you just try to find the best of the bunch and bring in one. I don't think that's one where you got to bring in multiple guys or anything, but just like you said, try to find an alpha that can come in and get in that 4-man rotation immediately. And maybe
it's because our Mason Thomas took over games, man. He took over single-handedly would destroy an offense in the fourth quarter. He would do that 4 or 5 times in a season. I mean, last year he did it, and this recent last year he did it at least 3 times. The Auburn game, he basically sealed the win for you. He came in with taking his 1 half off and comes out in the second half in Auburn and just annihilates Chaplin and others on that Auburn offensive line and just won it was just done. It was over. Our Mason Thomas walked on the field, game over. And I don't know if there's a player like this. I've watched some Chaz Coleman. I think he's an athletic freak of nature. I'll probably, I should probably highlight these guys that you mentioned. I'll go watch them. But yeah, if you bring in someone like a Marvin Jones Jr., you are saying that we are going to develop the DNs that we've got. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, but these decisions that you make in these 2 weeks of major roster shaping moves directly affect the season that you're going to have from 8 months from now. If you go, hey, we're just going to bring a right guard, we're going to move Foje at right tackle. We're just going to get a rotational piece at edge, and we're just going to move on. And if you get into next season and you're not generating a pass rush, or if you're not pass protecting, these are the moves that we're all going to come back to and point and be like, where did the money go? Where did the budget go? What did we do? Maybe they go throw a bunch of money at Cam Coleman and he gets 12 catches on the year. Everything in these 2 weeks is going to end up telling you, giving you a chance to get another 10-win season or not.
Right.
And trying to get back to the playoffs. So.
Yeah, you can't sit on your hands anymore and wait for another spring portal to open up, because there is, it's now or nothing. You used to be able to wait and fill a couple of needs in the spring. You can't do that anymore. Linebacker. Yeah. We got
linebacker.
We got several linebackers.
I've seen that name.
Have came in. Yep. Owen Long's one. There's Kobe there. Cole Sullivan from Michigan, which surprisingly, but you can highlight Cole Sullivan. He's down there at line 139. And then
I like Michigan linebackers. That's good.
Gideon Lamprin. I'm looking down your list. He is a Bowling Green guy, so he may be down the list a bit. I don't see him. Yep. Apparently his middle name is like ESPN or something like that.
That's funny.
Yeah. So those are the 3 guys that Charlie had listed as visiting, but I guarantee you linebackers, there's a lot of guys that hit the portal that wouldn't mind playing for Brent.
Well, Gideon Lampert has the really good PFF grade here at 86. Really stands out. Owen Long down here. Owen Long's the guy that had 150 tackles in a season. Like a tackling machine.
Yep.
Yeah.
That bring him in to be your next Danny Stutzman type.
That's the guy I was. I've got Colorado State film, so I wanted to watch him, not the tight end Rocky Beers. But when I saw Rocky's name, I was like, oh, I can watch offense and defense of some Colorado State. And I believe we actually have a former Sooner on Colorado State's coaching staff.
Is that right?
I think we've got a defensive lineman, defense line coach over there, or I believe he's still there. I know he was there at one point. Chike, I think.
Oh, Chuka,
yeah.
Chuka Adule. Is that
yeah.
Chuka? Does that sound
I don't
right?
think he's there anymore.
Gotcha.
Here, I know where to go. I'm gonna go to my emails. I was talking to him.
Oh, nice.
Well, it was months ago, and I've
Right.
got a brain that doesn't know how to compartmentalize. But yeah, Colorado State, they're a good program, man. They've been doing good. But linebacker, I mean, is that high on your list? I mean, how high is that on your list? Is that DEFCON 5 if Kip is gone?
Yeah, if Kip's gone, I'm like, you got to go find 3 guys. You got to fill the room. You got to fill the room with what we've talked about, experienced. I'd like to get an experienced and a young guy, just for the same reason we mentioned before, because Sammy may just play a lot next year and be gone. Owen, if he gets another year eligibility, he'll be gone. So you just have a bunch of guys that will graduate. So I'd like to get a young guy and a seasoned guy if you can.
Yeah.
I know I keep saying that.
Chuka he's
Ndule or whatever.
Nudule. Yeah, he's at Colorado State. I was talking to some suitor over there. I can't remember. Yeah. So I mean, really cool dude. But yeah, Colorado State's a good program, man. They know how to play defense. It probably doesn't show up on statistics and stuff like that, but they do things right over there. So I saw Owen Long and I was like, oh, interesting. I wonder if the connections there with having a former Sooner over there and talking to Brent and everything. We're like, hey, we've got a linebacker you need to check out. So anyway.
Yeah. What do you want to do? One more defensive tackle, secondary. You still looking at some of these linebacker
secondary is
guys?
good. I think our secondary is good. If Peyton is here, Eli, Guillory,
corner
there's
room,
your new.
You feel good? Yeah,
okay. I do. Jacoby, if they're all, you got your nucleus of players there. Secondary should be good.
Yeah, Omarion Robinson's going to be a guy that really, he's the guy that's going to show up next year with RSJ leaving, I think.
Yeah. Cody Sigler, right, was the name I saw. I think Charlie mentioned TFB.
Yeah. Yes,
but I don't know if he's going to make it in, right?
I think that was flipping. I think he might have already signed elsewhere or something like that.
So they're trying to work real fast to replace Strong and Halton. They're really probably trying to aim for the Halton, right? You're aiming for a guy that can win pass rush versus guards.
Right.
Pass rush situations, 3rd and 7, your 3rd and 7, your pass downs, your money downs. They're probably looking for an interior defensive lineman pass rush type guy to rotate in with Stone and because Jane Jackson's not like a huge sack guy. So he's your run defender type defensive lineman, like getting that like Jonah Lalu guy with long arms, Caden Woolard, long arms that would kick inside. They're probably looking for because Grayson Halton 8 guards lunch in pass rush situations. So they're probably looking for a guy like that can, in those situations, be able to, with speed, with quickness, with fire, one-step explosion, beat guards in those one-on-one situations that David Stone is going to open up that whole D-line. And that's where kind of, if you've got that alpha pass rusher too, and then you've got a guy like another G-Baby or another Jonah Lalu that, both those guys are going to get drafted. Lolu went to the Colts and had a good season last year. Like those pass rushing guys to kind of just form your unit, your pass rushing unit on those money downs. I think that's what they're kind of missing there, and that's probably what they're trying to find is, just build back that pass rush. But I don't really know too much about any of these guys.
Yeah,
there's so many names.
There is, and it's easy to get lost in the numbers, like we were saying, and you just try to follow. Charlie and the guys over at TFB do a really good job of updating at least the visitor list. Austin Ramsey was a guy that was supposed to visit from Kentucky, defensive tackle, and I'm not sure if he's going to make it in. So that was a name that was on his list.
Okay.
He doesn't grade out real well. And then the other name was Alex Van Sumeren from Michigan State. Was another name that he had on the list that was going to be visiting this weekend. So,
yeah. Okay. 68, solid player. Okay. Yeah. What's going on? Like I said, I think you're going in. You've got the portal closes not this Friday, but next
16th.
Friday.
Right.
So you've got 2 weeks to basically define your roster.
Yep.
That's wild.
It is.
That is a short free agency.
Yeah.
That is like, with the NFL, their free agency, it kicks in March, and it's pretty much, all year, with guys trading and dealing and stuff. But like, you don't have this like time crunch of 2 weeks to like form your roster.
There's another guy that we didn't talk about, and I forget what position it was. It may have been defensive tackle or offensive. His last name's Wafle, Wafle.
Mm-hmm.
If you can search, I forget where he's from. Sorry, I know you're not displaying anymore, but
nope, you're good. Wafle.
Yeah. Wafle is his last name.
Wait, all right. Hold on.
He's another guy that was supposed to visit. Yep, that's him. Penn State guy.
Oh, okay. Yep. Penn State guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there should be quite a few Penn State players out there. There should be
some maybe not wanting change and just kind of wanting a fresh start when there's a new coach.
Yeah,
which happens a lot. So
yeah.
I was hoping since O'Brien Hartline left Ohio State, a bunch of the wide receivers would decide to enter the portal.
Man, did that Ohio State offense look bland as hell without him play calling? Good Lord. I was like Ryan Day, dude. And that's the thing, man. Play calling's very different than being a head coach. It's different. It's way, way different. And it takes both a head coach and a coordinator to manage the game. And there's a reason why it takes 2 guys to go, 3 guys to really go through the whole game like that with all your. So, yeah.
So should we do this next Sunday as well and kind of see who all we've got?
Yeah, I would expect by next Sunday.
Yep.
There should be some movement.
Yeah, I agree.
At this week is going to be a lot of people are going to want to lock in their contracts.
Yep.
So now they got their names out there. Now it's about very quickly who's signing deals to lock in, their contracts and everything, get that paycheck signed, and feel good going into their next team before February rolls around. So let's
just plan on doing an update of the portal next weekend, and we'll have some more names, and we can actually look at their grades since you already have their grades and stuff. So I think that'd be good. And we'll have some other, just some special pods, of course, in the off season. We're trying to come up with some ideas. If y'all ever have a idea of what you would like to see on a pod, by all means, drop it in the chat. We'll be happy to see if we can do it.
Yeah.
You can pin me and Rob against each other in some battle to the death, trivia battle or something. I don't care. Whatever it is, we'll try to we'll try to do it. So yeah.
It will, if we've got a major addition like Parker Livingstone and stuff like that, like if we've got some dudes by next Sunday, I mean, I've got every film of everything. I wouldn't mind. Yep. I can do a quick cut up on some plays that I liked out of the player. I don't know if I'll be like Gabe and Teddy and do a whole 30-minute pod for every single transfer and every single I'm not gonna create a hype train for every player, but if we, the ones that we feel like that are important, or if someone that wants to see, we can take a look. I'm gonna go look at Owen Long, just because it feels like Owen Long is probably looking like he's gonna get locked in here pretty quick. With the connections there with a former OU player, Nudule on staff and everything, they probably gave him a heads up and stuff. So that feels pretty good.
Yeah. And if you don't already follow us on Twitter and all that, I've been trying to go out on Twitter and just post whenever there's someone new. So you can keep an eye on that. And by all means, please subscribe on YouTube, Twitter, wherever you find us. Appreciate it. And if you are looking for a community here the first of the year, man, this is the best time to go join TFB Oklahoma Edition. Go out there, get on the donor board. If you want all the up-to-date portal information, Charlie and the guys will keep you up to date. It's a really good time to have that handy, so you don't have to wait, for announcements to make their way full circle. There you go.
Yeah, Football Brainiacs.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been there for about a decade. Actually longer now. It's been 13 years since I've been on there. Yeah, really, great guys. The community is awesome because it's not, there's a lot. I love the back and forth, but there's really no bad eggs and stuff. We used to have a guy named Stephen Dale that'd come on there and be like, be an ass clown, but it's an awesome community. We got a tailgate party out of it, like these guys. We got to spend quite a few tailgates meeting new people every single game, which was fun. So we're gonna do that again next year. We'll have a tailgate party. We'll do pods and stuff, and we'll meet people. It's a great community. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I've been refreshing that thing all day, just waiting on the latest news. Yeah. So I know y'all get hooked too if you get over there. So yeah, guess we can wrap things up here. Appreciate everybody joining us. I know it's a different time of year. Football season's over, but plenty of movement going on. We'll kind of know what our roster is going to look like here in a couple of weeks for the 26th season. So thanks again for joining us, and we will talk to y'all next week. Boomer Sooner.
That's my standard. That's my standard. My champion standard. Champion standard. Pull away the answers. Yeah, the answers. The champion standard. Champion standard. Yeah. I be in the field, ready, set to go. 7 rings, we way too cold. Hand my jersey up, it's greatness overload. We show up every time, rain, sleep, hell, snow. Young and on, boom with chest, know we straight shooters. Topics, we don't put no punches, we give it right to you. Champion standard, can't label us no losers. Soon as you touch down, we show you how we do it, yeah. Life always feel better when you living as a champ. Cause my standard that I